Get it. Get it. What is it? Get it. Hey guys, Pat here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And today what I'm doing is I'm changing out the contact for the grounding strip, or the contact strip for the hydraulics on the wood Mizer sawmill. This is an LT50, and so any of your mills that have this hydraulic system is more than likely going to have the same setup. What's going on here is I have to, in order to engage the hydraulics, I have to agitate this just a little bit, wiggle it around in order for it to make contact. So if you guys have been following any of my videos, I've cleaned up the copper contact strip, did that real well, but what I'm experiencing is some arcing, and you can see that by this black right here. It just means that it's not making really good contact. When the carriage comes back, makes contact with this, it's not making real good contact, so it's arcing. So you can see a little bit of pitting and arcing, and when you get towards the front of the mill, you can really see where it's starting to pit the copper strip back through here. So what I'm going to do, it's really arcing bad in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that out while I still have this strip. I have another one of these strips, this whole plastic piece and the contact strip itself. You can just change out this copper bar stock, but I just went ahead and bought this whole system here. And contact strip comes with 2 wires that actually go into the box, into the hydraulic box up here. I just got one of these that came in with the contact. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and I'm actually going to put a new end on this as well and clean this up in here, crimp on a new end, and put a new contact piece on there. So first thing we got to do is remove the cover off of this box here. And inside we have, looks like maybe a 7/16 or 9/16, I mean. That's it right there. Obviously the keys are off. This one here is 7/16. So while I have this off here, again, I'm just going to go ahead and replace this connection. Cut this back a little bit. I have plenty left on here. This is number 1 welding cable. I'll take a look and see what I have for fittings. I always try to keep fittings like this on hand. I may or may not have the right size, but you can see where that's arcing. I had this cleaned up. If you watched one of my other videos, I'd cleaned up the copper strip, and I'm still getting some bad arcing. So we're going to go ahead and change this out. If you look at the side of this, that's a significant wear between this end and this end. So I think it's just quite simply wore out. So we're going to go ahead and get that changed out. What you got going on, Cody? Huh? What do you have going on? Always on the move, looking for rats, birdies, and mice, and bugs. Alright, back to the problem at hand here. I'm going to mark this top and this inside. Not that one can't just figure that out again, but it's a lot faster if I just label this stuff. No denying that was on there well. Okay, this is the piece I have to change out for sure. You can see the difference between this side and this side is pretty significant. There's a lot more rounded on this side And this side, it's almost got no round on it. So this side's been wearing heavier than this side, obviously. And I gotta see about maybe just getting some new ends for this, cutting this back a little bit. Maybe just making a new cable, I don't know. I'll see what I have for ends. I don't know if I have any this small. It is pretty close. This is 5/16. Pretty sure that's 5/16. Yep, perfect. Okay. I may just make another cable. So we'll just run back over to the house. I have my hydraulic crimp over there. I like to put soldering flux in here and crimp it and then solder it. It seems to make a better connection all the way around when I do that. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I like it better than just crimping. So we're gonna go ahead and get that done. Okay guys, we're here at the shop. And I have my two connectors here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and replace the cable. We got 1/0 cable here. If I'm gonna change both of these ends out, that's gonna shorten this up about, maybe 2 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and change this whole thing out. I think it's important to use welding cable, this multi-stranded cable. If it's really stiff cable, then this might not move freely. So we're going to go ahead and cut a new piece so it's not binding in any way, and we're going to be using the same type of cable, and one that's really flexible. This is like a welding cable here. So this part right here is called a positive contact plus replacement. So anything that's 1997 and newer has this part. So I'll straighten this out the best I can to get a true length on this. There's really nothing wrong with this cable. It's just if I'm going to reland these ends, then it's going to be, I'm going to have to make this shorter because I like nice clean ends. So we're going to have to cut 1 inch off this side, 1 inch off that side. So we're going to be about 2 inches shorter. So I'm going to take a measurement and we'll just cut a new piece. And being careful not to cut any of the wire. I know I probably waste a lot of flux by doing it this way, but I want to absolutely have that soaked with that flux because that's the secret ingredient to having a good connection when you go to solder this stuff back together after I crimp it. And we'll just let that cool. Alright, so now we're just cleaning this up with a little bit of alcohol. Cleaning the flux off of it. And they didn't have shrink tubing on the other ones, but I thought I'd go ahead and put shrink tubing on these. Just going to put that on there hand tight for the moment until I get back to the mill. Put a little antioxidant on here. Alright, let's see if it all fits back together again like I hoped. These spades are a little bit wider than the ones that they had on there, or the terminal connectors. And because mine are a little wider, I want to make sure that these terminal connectors aren't touching any of the other connectors on this solenoid. And it isn't. Well, guess what, guys? I did have to take that cover back off of there. What I'm experiencing is this terminal is actually too wide. That's why they had the smaller ones on there. I'm just going to go ahead and shave this off on each side to where it rotates freely in that octagonal hole. So that's probably 1/16 on each side, 3/32 maybe, to where this rotates all the way around. I thought about making the hole bigger, but that's going to affect the integrity of this width in here, so I don't really want to do that. So the best thing to do is just shave a little off of the sides of the terminal connector. So we'll remove this, we'll go into the box truck and see if we can find something to shave that off. Make this perpendicular to the contact so it don't bind anywhere. And I made sure that I rounded the back corners off so it wouldn't bind on that terminal connector. So I need to change this around. I had this in reverse, so this needs to be flopped this way. Okay, we want this little block square, this Teflon block or whatever that's made out of. I think it's Teflon or UHMW or something. Parallel with the copper strip going along through here. Everything's tight. I'll go ahead and secure these. And now we can put this little plate back on here. Okay, we got everything all buttoned up here. New cable, new contact. Let's see if it works. Well, there it is. We're back in service. So, up until the next time something goes haywire. I did have to put some more fluid in the pumps because the fluid is low. But other than that, I have a new micro switch, a new line coming into the contact strip, a new contactor for the contact strip, and new solenoids. I have videos on most of what I've done here, and so I have changed out the membrane. The down function wasn't working on it, so we got a video on that. hopefully that helps you guys out, gives you a solution to a problem that you might have. Intermittent hydraulics and whatnot could be that cable down there. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.